Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Physics Infinity. Today we'll study the moment of inertia of a hollow circular cylinder. Let us assume a circular cylinder of mass m, length L, internal radius r1 and external radius r2, and let AB be its axis. Now our first case is to find out the moment of inertia of this hollow circular cylinder about its own axis, that is AB is a required axis of rotation. Now to find out the moment of inertia of this circular cylinder about this AB axis, let us assume this circular cylinder to be divided into a large number of circular discs. Now let us assume that one such disc of thickness dx at a distance of x from one of its ends. Now its internal radius will be equal to r1 and obviously the external radius will be equal to r2. Now we will find out the moment of inertia of this disc about this AB axis, and then with the help of that we will find out the moment of inertia of this complete hollow circular cylinder about this AB axis. Now, if small m is its mass, then the moment of inertia of this thin annular circular disc about AB axis, an axis that is passing through its center of mass, from our previous results, it is given by half of mass into r1 square plus r2 square. Now, we will find out the mass of this disc. Let us proceed now. The volume of the hollow cylinder is given by pi r2 square minus r1 square into length L. Therefore, the mass per unit volume of this hollow cylinder will be equal to mass upon volume, that is m upon pi into r2 square minus r1 square into L. Now, the volume of this thin circular disc, thin circular disc will be pi r2 square minus r1 square into its thickness, that is dx. Here we have, therefore its mass will be equal to the mass per unit volume of the hollow cylinder, that is m upon pi r2 square minus r1 square into L, into the volume of this annular circular disc, that is pi r2 square minus r1 square into dx. That is, the mass of this disc is equal to m upon L into dx. Therefore, its moment of inertia about AB axis, from this result DIAB is equal to half m r1 square plus r2 square will be equal to half m upon L into dx into r1 square plus r2 square. Now, with the help of this small moment of inertia of this thin disc about AB axis, we will find out the moment of inertia of the whole hollow cylinder about this AB axis. For that, we will integrate this result, and now the limits of integration will be from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to L, the whole length of the cylinder. Therefore, we get the moment of inertia to be equal to integration DIAB, that is integration 0 to L, and this DIAB is equal to half m upon L into r1 square plus r2 square into dx. Now this m upon L into 2 into r1 square plus r2 square is a constant term, and therefore it can be taken outside the integration, and inside the integration we have only 1, and integration of 1 is equal to x. Between the limits 0 to L, using the limits and upon calculations, we get the moment of inertia of this hollow cylinder about AB axis to be equal to m upon 2 into r1 square plus r2 square. This is a required result. Now we have a special case that for a solid cylinder of radius r without inner hole, that is r1 equal to 0 and r2 equal to r, the moment of inertia about AB axis from this expression will be equal to m upon 2 into r square. Now our next case is to find out the moment of inertia of the same solid, of the same hollow cylinder about an axis perpendicular to its length and passing through its center of mass. Let us assume that CD be a required axis of rotation. Now, to find out the moment of inertia, again imagine the hollow cylinder to be divided into a large number of thin circular discs at right angle to the length of the cylinder. Let us assume one such circular disc at a distance x from the CD axis and of thickness dx. Again, we have the moment of inertia of this thin disk about one of its diameter, say n1, given by m upon 4 into r1 square plus r2 square. Again, the mass of the disk from a previous part is given by m upon l into dx. Using this result here, we get the moment of inertia of the disk about n1 axis m upon l into dx into r1 square plus r2 square upon 4. Now from our diagram, since we have this n1 axis and this CD axis are parallel axes, and the distance between these two parallel axes is equal to x, that is our h is equal to x, and using the principle of parallel axes we can find out the moment of inertia of the disk about CD axis given by I dicd equal to di n n1 plus mh square, that is equal to m upon l into dx into r1 square plus r2 square upon 4 plus m upon l into dx into h square, that is x square. Now we have this small moment of inertia, and with the help of this we can find out the moment of inertia of the complete hollow cylinder about CD axis by integrating it. Now the limits of integration will be minus l upon 2 to plus l upon 2. Therefore, we get our moment of inertia to be equal to integration dicd, that is integration minus L upon 2 to plus L upon 2 of this small moment of inertia, that is m upon L into r1 square plus r2 square upon 4 plus m upon L into x square into dx. Now m upon 4l into r1 square plus r2 square is a constant term, and integration of 1 is x between the limits minus l upon 2 to plus l upon 2, plus here m upon l is a constant term, and integration of x square is x cube upon 3 between the limits minus l upon 2 to plus l upon 2. Using the limits here and upon calculations, we get the moment of inertia about the CD axis, that is ICD, to be equal to m upon 4 into r1 square plus r2 square plus m upon 12 into l square. This is a required moment of inertia. Now again we have a special case here for a solid cylinder of radius r without having any inner hole, that is r1 equal to 0 and r2 equal to r. We get from this result the moment of inertia about CD axis to be equal to m into this r square upon 4 plus l square upon 12. Now our next case is to find out the moment of inertia of the same hollow circular cylinder about one of its diameter of its one face. Let EF be the diameter of one of the faces of the cylinder, and therefore this EF is a required axis of rotation. Now clearly visible that EF and CD axes are parallel axes, and the distance between these two parallel axes is equal to L upon 2. Therefore this H will be equal to L upon 2, and we can use here the principle of parallel axes. Now using this principle, the moment of inertia of this hollow cylinder about EF axis will be given by IEF is equal to ICD plus MH square, where H is equal to L upon 2, and we have already obtained the value of ICD, that is equal to M into R1 square plus R2 square upon 4 plus L square upon 12 plus this MH square, that is M into L upon 2 whole square. Using the calculations, we get this moment of inertia to be equal to m into r1 square plus r2 square upon 4 plus l square upon 3. This is a required moment of inertia. Now again we have a special case of solid cylinder of radius r, that is r1 equal to 0 and r2 equal to r. From this expression we get the moment of inertia about EF axis to be equal to m into r square upon 4 plus l square upon 3. This is a required results. Thanks for watching the video.